always here but rarely recognized. Look in the mirror and see yourself for what you truly are.
See you around, Red.
Hey guys, it's Charlie. So today we're going to talk about the Punisher TV series. They confirmed a whole bunch of characters, and it looks like they're doing an arc from Punisher Max, which I know, like, big Punisher fans are like, please do something really awesome. Unless they're trying to deceive us purposefully, it looks like they've confirmed who all the characters are playing, and it looks like, Ben Barnes, who's going to be one of the villains, if not the villain, will be playing Jigsaw. So running down the list, there are mostly comic book characters. There are one or two that don't appear in the comics, but most of these people pop up during that first big Punisher Max arc. So that's the one you should read if you want to read up on it. So this actor is playing Micro. He's listed as former NSA analyst who assists Castle, which is basically Micro in the comics. This is going to be Micro's wife. This guy is going to be Curtis Hoyle, one of the guys who fought with Frank in Vietnam in the comics. But remember, on the TV show, it's set in modern day, so Frank is an Afghanistan vet, not a Vietnam vet like he was in the comics. So the interesting thing about that, though, the fact that they set it in modern day, they had to change some things, it actually brings it closer into continuity with that first Punisher Max arc because it deals with Osama bin Laden, stuff that's happening in Afghanistan, so it completely works out. Usually when they bring stuff into modern day, they have to change a bunch of other stuff, but because of the bin Laden arc, the Punisher Max series takes place in like the perfect timeline, so it completely works out. They obviously confirmed that Karen Page is going to pop up. We even saw a couple pictures of them interacting on the street. They're shooting the Punisher series right now, and they start shooting the Defenders really soon too. I'll address that too, because if they're going to be shooting both series at the same time, it makes sense that they would have him pop up at least once during the Defenders. But yes, the Punisher will cross over with the Defenders. So next big Punisher character is Rollins, this high-ranking CIA person that Frank runs into because of all this crazy stuff happening in Afghanistan. So he's also kind of a villain too, but more insidious than, say, like Jigsaw. Jigsaw is kind of like the walk up and stab you in the chest kind of villain. The CIA character is more of like a stab you in the back kind of person. Another character not from the comics, Sam Stein, is a Homeland Security agent who's partnered with another Homeland Security agent named Dinah, who's also not from the comics, who will be tracking down Frank. So the way they've actually pitched the series, like the premise is actually kind of weird because you think he's already the Punisher because of Daredevil Season 2, but the premise says Frank Castle is haunted and hunted after the murder of his family and becomes the vigilante known in the criminal world as the Punisher, who aims to fight crime by any means necessary. So you're like, wait a minute, didn't he already do that during Daredevil Season 2? But really, he didn't pick up the mantle of the Punisher till the very end of that. So the way I would think of it is that during the Punisher Season 1, more people in that universe will be calling him the Punisher. They'll be talking about the Punisher instead of a mysterious gunman who's going after mob targets. But now it looks like they're also going to be getting him involved in a lot of CIA Black Ops via this Punisher Max arc. So if you want to know what to read to get ready for Punisher Season 1, read that first Punisher Max arc. But a lot of you are asking now, what does this have to do with the Defenders plot?
Daredevil, Jessica Jones, or Luke Cage first season? What was your favorite?
Favorite.
I like them all. Defenders. Yeah.
So, Frank is largely a military character, so his story is going to deal with a lot of other things going on in the military, very bad things, obviously. But remember Jessica Jones? There was the military group that experimented with the pills. There was a shadow corporation behind that. What they might do to tie this all together, because they announced that Sigourney Weaver is going to be the villain of the Defenders. She might be behind that evil corporation that's manufacturing those drugs and testing people, like the people that gave Jessica Jones her powers, that company. Like, it's all connected through Big Pharma, because Jeff Loeb was teasing the Iron Fist series. Like, we saw the trailer, but we don't know a whole lot about what's going on in that series yet. They said that that's going to take like a hard look at the top 1% of the 1%, like the wealthiest of the wealthy people, people with Tony Stark money, and he name dropped big pharma, as in like big pharmaceutical corporations that are only interested in profits, don't care how they hurt people. So it all kind of trickles down to the Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil. So that's probably what's going to connect all of these TV shows, like the shadowy hand that's controlling everything. So that's like another thing too, the hand versus the chaste, which is much more mystical, so you do kind of wonder how that weaves into the real world stuff that's going on. So that's like a completely separate thing. I'm not expecting too much hand stuff to be happening during the Punisher, which, makes you think of hand jobs. Not too many hand jobs happening during the Punisher. But let me know in the comments, what do you want them to do during the Punisher series? And do you think that they'll drop Punisher before Defenders comes? Because they don't start shooting Defenders till the beginning of November, which is next week. They've been shooting the Punisher for about 2 to 3 weeks now. So what it looks like is going to happen is that they'll drop Punisher and then like really quickly after that, drop Defenders before the end of next year. Because there is like a contractual date that they have to hit with Defenders. Punisher was like the brand new thing that came after they signed the big Marvel Netflix contract. When they signed that, that was just for the 4 Heroes series and then the big team up in Defenders. Punisher was nowhere in there. He was kind of thrown into the mix as like a bonus. And then everyone, even the people at Netflix, saw how good he was and was like, oh, we have to do a series for this too. So they threw him in there. So now we have 5 Defenders, technically. Although the Punisher isn't so much a team-based guy, so he'll probably help the Defenders, but I don't expect him to actually be on the Defenders team formally. The working title of that series too is called Group Therapy, as in like they all need group therapy because they're so messed up in the head. So it's gonna be awesome. And I will be doing more Punisher videos. Obviously I should do a video for the Punisher Max series for the comic book series. So be sure to subscribe to get that. And I decided that just because it seems like people aren't quite so interested in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. videos as they are for other stuff, that what I'm gonna do instead of an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video tomorrow is do a fake trailer for the Punisher Ghost Rider team-up show that should happen, even though they haven't confirmed anything about Ghost Rider showing up in the Netflix series. I feel like we need Blade, Ghost Rider, and the Punisher to have a crossover series. So I'll make like a fake trailer for Marvel's Hearts of Darkness. And tonight, new episode of The Flash, Mirror Master is debuting, so I'll post that after it airs. Big week of comic book stuff. Doctor Strange is next week too. So if you live in an international country, you might be able to go see it this week. We don't get it in the United States till the first week of November, so obviously that's when my Doctor Strange video will post. Punisher Season 1, guest starring Lucille. So while you guys wait for that next video to post, you can click up top to learn like a really true WTF behind the scenes DC Comics story about Superman and Batman. And you can click down here to learn what's going on with the Deadpool 2 movie and why everyone's freaking out. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.